freaking gabagoo. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Netty Babs. Shabazz is joining us shortly, dealing with some familiar matters. But regardless, though, what up, though? Super Bowl 59 is in the books. A lot has transpired the last, what, 6 days. NFL honors, and obviously the Super Bowl. We're gonna recap everything, all the big things that happened this past couple of days. Last live show of the season.
We
Man,
here, man.
oh, he's here. Oh, snap! Oh, snap! Oh, snap!
What's good, gang? What's good, gang?
It's good, man. It's good, man. You see the cut though? See the cut, man.
Need to come. I'm getting on Thursday. I'm trying to get like you, my boy.
Oh man, no kick, no cut. So peek behind the curtain. Not peek behind the curtain. Just something happened. I had students thinking I lost a bet. I cut my beard off because like the baldy is whatever, but they're like the beard. They're like, damn, like you had that thick beard. What happened? I was like, I'm trying to start fresh so that when I go to Colombia in a month and a half, like it's like that perfect, like
Yeah,
stay right there.
stay
But
right there.
yeah, like someone made a smart point. It's like, why didn't you just cut it to your desired length? I'm like, nah. So a lot of people I thought I lost a bet, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We're here, man. Again, not selling, selling the people, last live show of the season, man. Oh, Arn Elements. Oh shit.
Yo, what's good?
Oh man.
Yeah,
My
man.
brother, man.
What's good? What you got? What you got over there, man?
Got a little chicken Alfredo, chefed it up, you know what I'm saying?
You chefed it up?
Come on, man. Come on,
Cat.
man. It was made already, but I put it in a skillet. You know what I'm
Nah, you ain't making yourself.
Oh, Sherelle, where the biscuits at, yo? Now we got to hold on. I need my biscuit, yo. I need biscuits. Let me try biscuits. Sorry for the family dysfunction. We're here.
Man. Anyway, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend, tell a friend. We're first gonna recap the NFL honors, right? Starting with all the award winners who we thought should have won. It was an award valid, right? We'll talk about that later on. Speaking of first, Jaden Daniels, offensive rookie of the year. I had no issues with it. I mean, there was no other person that could have gotten it. Maybe Bo Nix,
Brock
maybe
Bowers.
Bowers, right? Brock Bowers was second team All Pro in terms of tight ends. Or was he first? I don't know. Point is, potential argument could be made, but when you lead your team, I know it's a regular season award, but when you lead your team to an NFC title game as a rookie, and the Commanders are a dysfunctional ass franchise, well, not anymore with Dan Schneider, I'd say pretty valid award winner in my opinion. Shabazzy and his biscuits. Shout out to Sure Elements.
We here, man.
El Cool.
Congrats, my boy.
My boy.
Congrats, my boy.
Congratulations, my boy. We're gonna talk. We're gonna deep dive on the recap of the game later on. We're just going through the awards first. But I have no doubts. I know qualms with rookie of the year for both of the rookies of the year. Shout out to Jared Verse. He won defensive rookie of the year. Hey, the Rams got a stud. You have a qualm?
Slight qualm with the nomination, though. My son Nate Wiggins, no love.
Who?
Nate Wiggins, my corner, first round corner. One of the lowest target rates allowed, pick six. Feel me? Quick, like yo. I mean, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, no qualms with the winner though.
No.
Oh, it's just the nomination. You don't want to be. You want to be highlighted. You don't want to be like, yo, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Little Raven. I mean, I ain't mad at Jared Verse winning. He dominated, especially in the postseason. People going crazy. So
that's why it's like people say this is a regular season award, but like the voters do put their vote at the end of the regular season. But there would have been no doubt he would have won if they continued and watched the two playoff games that he had. One against the Vikings and then one against the Eagles. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, Coach of the Year. This don't disagree with, considering the prediction. Like they were supposed to be trash. Like they were supposed to, like JJ McCarthy, who they were supposed to, they're just cleaning the cap space. The defense was supposed to be old and rusty. And like, no, he steered the ship, made Sam Darnold look like an actual contending NFL quarterback until the very end. But can't take anything away from it. Again, any other situation, there would be number one seed, but the freaking Lions were 15-2. It's like Jesus Christ, like the 1 year that they could have been the number one seed, but nope. Like the Lions were the other great team. I would have potentially gone with Dan Campbell only because of the expectations, and he met those expectations in the regular season. However, because Kevin O'Connell had won already, he's won a Coach of the Year award already.
No, Brian Dable won it that year.
Thank you. I remember. Yeah, he did win it that year. He lost to him, but Kevin O'Connell was worthy of winning it that year. I thought Dan Campbell probably should have won it, me personally. But the fact that you make Sam Darnold look like a competent quarterback, I got to give it to him.
I think Dan Campbell going the one seed with all like context, like more than half of his players on IR, especially on the defensive side, and they rode the ship the entire season to dominating wins after dominating wins, and really putting belts of ass on a lot of teams, notoriously in the AFC South, but they still won despite everything. Now they didn't get to where they wanted to get to, which is okay, but that's where the cookie crumbles. But either Kevin O'Connell or Dan Campbell, it would have helped. Now it's odd that one of the best coaches in not in just the NFC but in the league doesn't have a coach of the year. Well, Kevin Stefanski has like two of them things, which is kind of odd. It's kind of odd. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, but I do understand it. Oh no, that's we're gonna talk about that one later. Saquon Barkley, offensive player of the year. I definitely, if he didn't go for 2,000, I would have voted for Jamar Chase because Triple Crown is hard to come by. Now they're saying, Cooper Kupp had the Triple Crown like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. True. But from then, it was like early, I think 09 or whenever Steve Smith did it.
Yeah.
So it was Steve Smith, long ass time, Cooper Kupp, couple years, Jamar Chase. Like it's hard. It's very difficult to get the Triple Crown, and the fact that he did it. But Saquon Barkley did run for 2K. Could have broken the record easily if he wanted to. So but the fact that he didn't get any first place votes at all is kind of crazy. I'm not mad at Lamar getting second place for it. But like, nah, I think the offensive player of the year, like they honestly should be like college, where best QB award, cool, have its own thing. MVP have its own thing, or Heisman be its own thing, where quarterbacks are eligible but heavily considered with other offensive targets. And it's just that's a little mini rant there. But I'm not mad at Saquon won offensive player of the year.
I'm not mad at it either. I've talked about this before. I think they should do what the MLB does when it comes to like pitcher, right? So yes, obviously the pitcher is probably the most valuable player on the team.
Cy Young, right? That's what they call it.
Correct. So it's like they have the best pitcher, Cy Young, right? So have the best quarterback elite, because obviously in terms of impacting wins, the quarterback is going to do that, right? We're talking about Jalen Hurts, right? But it's just a situation where it's like if your quarterback doesn't win MVP, but consolation prize, oh, here, you put up the best stats. So here you go. Drew Brees won Offensive Player of the Year in 2009 when he should have fucking won Super Bowl because bum ass Peyton Manning had 3 of them things already. I digress. Point is, regarding this award, yes, the only qualm I have is that Chase didn't get a single vote. Other than that, he deserved like Saquon, Baquan. We're gonna talk about him in the Super Bowl, but he deserved to win it at all. He deserved it. As simple as that. Same thing, Pat Surtain, Defensive Player of the Year. I got no real qualms about it. We were talking about it for weeks that he was probably gonna win it. I potentially could have gone his teammate. I forgot the guy's name.
Nick Benito?
Huh?
Nick Benito?
Thank you. I could have gone his teammate only because of the touchdowns that he kept scoring. But he did go, like, at some point, the touchdown stopped, and he just, like, he still was impactful. but nobody was throwing a pass or 10. And then if they did, it was bad things happening. So I'm not arguing at all for that guy. I'm not gonna remember his name. I have so many names in my head. I'm sorry. Point is, Pat Surtain deserved it. Boom. Like I got no problems with it.
I don't. That was my pick. From like halfway through the season, I'm loving it. Zach Bond definitely honorable mention for sure because he had a great season. But I think he's like, no one really expected this from me. I kind of came out of nowhere. I feel like for defensive player, like a lot of these like awards, like you can't really. It's not like Randy Orton come out like, oh my god, from out of nowhere. Like nah, like you kind of have to be established a little bit and then continue that sustained success. Like Patrick Surtain is, well, in my opinion, the best corner in the game from a consistent stretch from when he first drafted to now. He's been top 5, top 3, top 2, and in my eyes, not 2. So he's just been continuing on that trajectory, and now he can encapsulate it with a deploy. Now let's see what he can do. Now Nick Bond next year, if he can play the same way like last year as this year, granted he's a free agent, so he might not. He might be signed with Philly. They got the bread, or he goes somewhere else, but has the same level of success. Definitely, he'll be an early candidate for 2025 deploy because of he's on the scene now. Now, like, what can he do to parlay that into better his resume?
One
So
last thing though about Zach Bond, he was first team All Pro,
absolutely,
linebacker. So it's one of those things where like, and we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about it. The people who make the votes for MVP and all these awards are the same voters that vote for first team All Pro. So
Yep.
keep that in mind when we talk about this next award.
Not the next one. Not the
Okay,
next
we're gonna save it for last. Okay,
one. We gotta save it for last.
Joe Burrow, comeback player of the year. Again, coming back from being hurt again. He's a 2-time winner. It's like a situation. He mentioned it. He's like, yes, it's an honor to win this award, but it's a shame I had to win it twice. It's like, yeah, like he doesn't want to be coming back from injury. He wants to be playing. When he's on the field, the Bengals have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Again, it's just situation. That's the way it is. He's one of the few quarterbacks that I give any shot to win the Super Bowl if he's healthy. But staying healthy is one of the bugaboos about being consistent, about being an actual good quarterback. You got to stay healthy. The best ability is availability. This year he was available, but last year he wasn't. And then the year before that he was available, but then so it's like every other year he's getting hurt. So it's a situation where like, damn, got to stay healthy consistently. Stop winning these awards because this award doesn't matter. And yes, you came back from injury and put up fantastic numbers, but don't get injured in the first place, and you probably will be fighting in January and late into the season. So that's my only opinion on it. There was no anybody else I thought was in the running. I didn't really remember. I didn't really think about Joe Burrow winning this award until it happened. And I was like, oh, okay, he won.
DeMar Hamlin, he got not robbed twice. He definitely got robbed last year because like Joe Flacco should not have won, and it's like
can't come back from being ass.
Like you can't like. I think that's what should happen. Like if you're not coming back from injury, then like that's the only criteria. Like this man like literally died on the field, like and came back the next year and played not even well. He played solid, but just play. The fact that he played at all after everything that happened, it's like, dude, like that's not comeback player of the year. Like, come on. Like Sam Darnold got mentioned. He came back from being ass. Like that's no. Like that's my only gripe with the NFL honors. Like if you come back from injury, like Joe Flacco was ass. He was somewhere in wherever, just catching dust. But he won. Like dude, like Joe Burrow got hurt. J.K. Dobbins was hurt. Aaron Rodgers was hurt. Kirk Cousins was hurt. Like genuine injuries. They coming back. Now Kirk Cousins played ass towards the end of the season. But there you go. That's what I gotta say. Now, Josh Allen MVP, which I set the scene. It was like 10 something. I'm like, these going on to like 11. So I'm like, I texted my guys. I was like, yo, if I go into sleep hopefully I could wake up to Lamar winning MV3. That did not happen. Friday happened, and first thing I see was the group chat going crazy that Lamar Jackson was robbed. And I do agree. My annoyance is twofold. One, like it's actually it's multi-purpose, it's multifold. Some at us, because if we had took care of business against the Raiders and the Browns, it would be the second seed, and this wouldn't be in conversation. So for next year, win the games you're supposed to. Baltimore. So that was like, okay. Then I'm like, he did better in every single metric except for rushing touchdowns, which were glorified touch pushes. Cool. Still had the same amount of total touchdowns. But yet, cool. Narrative. Oh, there he had Derrick Henry. He kept Derrick Henry, yo, with 1,900 yards, yo, and 16 leading touchdown runs. James Cook had like second in the league in touchdowns. Like, just because they didn't have a lot of Pro Bowlers, it's only him and Deion Dawkins. Like, that's not good enough reason. Kurt Warner had Marshall Faulk in the backfield with him when he won MVP. Like, Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. Tom Brady had Gronk, Randy Moss. Like, you're going to penalize a player for playing with good players. Last year, if Purdy would have won or McCaffrey would have won, you would have been like, oh, they played with so-and-so. If Purdy would have won, they'd be, oh, but he played with, would you penalize him because he played with McCaffrey? No. So, like, why doesn't, we know why it matters. Hello, Black. The fact that Lamar is having this success, despite him having Derrick Henry running for 1,900 yards, taking a lot of pressure off of his plate, because he only ran for 900 with sitting some quarters because we were blowing teams out. He could have easily had the first 4,000, 1,000 season, easily. But the biggest gripe, and I'm pretty sure Natural has the same sentiment. How do you win first team All-Pro but not win MVP? How can you possibly split the vote where you're going to vote for this guy, first team All-Pro, agreeing that he's the best quarterback this season, but yet not give him the MVP because of the word value, which is subjective. It's whatever you want it to be. It's fluid. It's all these other adjectives that y'all can go on and on about. This only happened with Peyton Manning when AP won it, which was rightfully deserved. I think Steve Young and John Elway. It does not happen. This is the first time in like 13 seasons where something like this happens. Why? And Dan Orlovsky, which I'm not going to shit on him because I think he might be leaving ESPN.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which, if it happens, he's still he's a good analyst. It's just he flipped the vote. He's coward for that. Manuel Acho, he was on Josh Allen's coach the whole season, but yet you vote Lamar All-Pro. Like, I'd say pick a side and be consistent. You can't have your cake.
Dan Orlovsky's been consistent about Josh Allen, though.
Huh?
Dan Orlovsky's been like,
yeah, which is boggling. Like, why did he vote Lamar All-Pro, but yet Allen MVP? Like, you just even if Lamar got second team All-Pro and not win MVP, I'm like, okay, cool. But like the fact that he was right on the cusp of like he got the All-Pro, everyone's like, oh yeah, but he's not at the award show. Like, ugh. That was maybe he had something going on. He had to do it from home. But then I wake up to find out that Josh Allen won it. I'm like, nah. But all my emotion aside, I'm actually happy that he didn't win. because he's already a first ballot Hall of Famer. If he hangs it up today, like first ballot, whatever. Now we're just adding more to it, and we want that ring. If he had gotten, Chris Broussard said it perfectly. If he had gotten a third MVP with no even trip to a Super Bowl, oh Lord have mercy,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been nuts. It would have been pandemonium.
Yeah.
So, like, now some of that pressure is on Allen now. A lot of that pressure is on Allen now because you got an MVP. What's up? Majority of these MVPs got, especially at quarterback, they got Super Bowl appearances. Winning or losing, Matt Ryan got this MVP and lost. Cam Newton got an MVP and lost. So, like, you got step one. People were saying this, hey, nigga, damn, like, stop crying.
Yeah.
I completely agree with 100%, but that's my opinion.
Why couldn't Drew Brees get one of those, man?
Why couldn't Drew Brees get one of those? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Payne got 5. Like, I mean, Payne can live with 4. I mean, Brees next year he first ballot. Because if he not first ballot, I'm riding. We ride.
Oh, best believe, yeah. I will be genuinely pissed if Drew Brees is Jesus is not first ballot Hall of Famer. Like there's a like you have to wait 5 years, but it's a situation was like, bro, just like Tom Brady. Why the hell does he have to wait 5 years? Like bro. And then it's like Eli, he could have and I'm not okay. Let me put a pin in that conversation real quick. I agree with everything you said, but I also at the same time, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Respectfully. I don't care. And neither does Lamar. And that's like we talked about it all season, like an underlying thing as we went through every review and every preview. Look, LV, like Lamar, MV3. But we also agreed that he probably doesn't care. The only thing on Lamar's mind is hoisting that Lombardi. Everything else is gravy. Everything else is cool. If you listen to his post-game interviews, if you listen anytime he's talking to the media, he's like, hey, this don't matter. We got to get to the playoffs. We got to make it happen. He's a one-track mind kind of guy, and that's the way I like the way he does business. I fuck with Lamar. We all love Lamar. He's a real ass nigga. And that's a situation where it's like, yes, he hangs it up today. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. No questions asked. But he's not hanging it up today. There's a lot more to his story that he has to write. Shout out to Cody Rhodes. And he just has to put that last nail in the coffin. Like, what can you say about me now? After that, boom. It doesn't matter. But he has to get that pelt on the wall. He has to. And we talk about Hall of Fame. We talk about first ballot and all that good stuff. Shout out to the Hall of Fame class of 2024, man. Man, Eric Allen, I vaguely know who he is, so I'm not really gonna mention him. But the other 3 guys, Jared Allen, Vikings and Bears legend, but mainly Vikings legend, Antonio Gates. Hey, most unstoppable dude in Madden, man. Tight end, man. Antonio Gates, bro, this is awesome. And then shout out to the video. If you haven't seen it yet, look up. I know you have seen it. I sent it to you. But if you haven't seen Shannon Sharp talk to his brother Sterling, get into the Hall of Fame, that's some shit brother to brother. That's that type of shit. That made me happy, made me smile. I woke up Friday morning and saw it. I was like, yeah, that's pretty awesome. They're the first brother duo to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's just crazy. It's genuine. It's awesome. I say crazy. That's the only adjective that comes to my mind because it's so awesome. It's so amazing. Obviously, Eli, people talked about him. I didn't think he was first ballot. To be fair, I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer.
He's not, He's
not. To be fair,
I said the quiet part.
I don't know if Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer, but you can't tell the story of the NFL without talking about him.
True.
And that's the type of situation where it's because of the helmet catch and the Mario Manningham throwing, upsetting Tom Brady, the GOAT, not once, twice in the biggest game. Like you can't just. But it's like outside of those 2 years, he's done nothing. No MVPs, no All Pros, no Pro Bowls. Led the league. He had some Pro Bowls here and there because the NFC quarterback was like weak. Led the league in interceptions multiple times. Just
500 record.
It's just like outside of those 2 immaculate, crazy runs, because they were immaculate, they were insane. He hasn't done anything. But those 2 runs, Phillip Rivers doesn't have that. At this, I mean, I'm not going to put anybody else on it. Joe Burrow has a Super Bowl appearance, but no Super Bowl rings. But it's just, it's a situation. I'm glad he didn't get first ballot. The only person I'm kind of mad at didn't get first ballot was Luke Kuechly. That's the only person I'm like, yeah, like this class is weak. It's usually 4 to 7 people. 4. This is the lowest class of people in like, I think they said in like 10 years. So it's like 4 people. 80% of the room couldn't agree on Luke Kuechly getting a first ballot. Like, career was short. I understand career was short.
His career was short.
But it's like I think he had played for 8 years or 9 years. But in those 9 years, let's give him 9. He was a first team All Pro 6, and then the other 2, he was second team All Pro, and then 1 Defensive Player of the Year like twice.
Like the hell.
What the hell are we talking about here? So we talk about Lamar Jackson should be first ballot. Drew Brees is Jesus. Larry Fitz is next year as well. And last thing I'll say before I pass it back to you is like this could have been the perfect. All right, Eli Manning's gonna highlight the class because if you're gonna put Drew Brees in the Hall of Fame with another quarterback and bum ass Eli Manning. This is Drew Brees' class. Like, yes, Eli will be honored and all that stuff, and that's cool. He's gonna be happy. But if, like, when Tom Brady gets inducted in a couple years, that's the Tom Brady class. Like, everybody else is a part of it. It's cool. But anyone going to Canton that weekend is going to go see Tom Brady. They're going to see him. They're going to see his speech. They're going to see him, and I embrace him. That's his weekend. Drew Brees next year when he gets inducted. Yeah, not if, when he gets inducted. That's Drew Brees. That's Drew Brees' weekend. Yeah, Larry Fitz is going to be awesome to see him get in there too. But Eli Manning's probably like, hey, as long as I get in, I don't give a fuck. But again, you're only, I don't know.
So I looked up Luke Kuechly, right? And he is first team All Pro 5 times, second team All Pro 2 times, multiple time Defensive Player of the Year, multiple Pro Bowls. Like, what's the argument? And I'm also mad as a Ravens fan. For offensive linemen, it's very hard to get into the Hall of Fame. Absolutely. So Marshall Yonder might have to wait a while. But T Sizzle, Depoy, multiple rings, multiple years of greatness. Can't say the name of you can't. What's the main criteria? You can't tell the name of the story, the history of the NFL without a certain player. I ain't saying he upper echelon, upper room level, but he's in the door. Slap myself 4 to 7, and he couldn't get one of those. He couldn't get one of those. Like, come on now. Like, T Sizzle was better than Jared Allen. But I will say, huge shout out to Jared Allen, huge shout out to Antonio Gates. Eric Allen, I'm not familiar with your game, but you're Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? And old man Sharp, he was Jerry Rice's rival. Like the GOAT receiver had a rival. That's like saying, yo, Goku had a rival. It was Vegeta. This was Sterling Sharp. Like his career was Sharp. And Shannon Sharp himself said, I'm the only Hall of Famer, but I'm the second best in my family. Like, dude, like, come on. Like, he should have been in. long time ago. But it's nice having influence, nice having media, family, and all that other stuff. Always bigging you up to really like look at the tape, like, oh shit, he's really that guy. Next year and the years going forward, I'm happy. I think Matt mentioned it to us. Like now we're really about to see our childhood. Like we saw it a little bit last year, like the right Freeney, so but like now, like every single year now, as these players retire and get older and get out the game, we're starting to really see like our childhood guys get into the Hall of Fame. And now, like, as we're 27, like 5 years from now, we'll be 32. So people that retire now, like they have that chance to like we could tell our kids, like, yo, like this guy right here was that guy. These guys right here coming into the Hall of Fame, like they were really them guys. Show the highlights, and it's 2025, so like the highlights will be there for everybody. So it's amazing on that end. Like, damn, like I'm really living like this is the childhood. Like I'm pretty sure like, how we feel is how like our OGs feel like seeing a guy like Eric Allen making the Hall of Fame. Like, yo, these kids don't know, but he was that guy. Like come on, like the first person for me was that like, I think it was when Darrell Reeves made. No, I'm lying. When Ray Lewis and Ed Reed made it, I was like, oh, this is my team. Oh, it's lit. Like these are the guys right here.
Yeah, and when Reeves, I think Reeves was like the first guy. I was like, damn. Champ Bailey as well is like, damn. Like I remember who the champ Bailey. Like that was like the type of shit. Shout out to our elements, man. But we can talk all Hall of Fame and get nostalgic all we want to. Shabazz called it correctly. Your 2024 Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia Eagles, put belt to ass on the Chiefs.
They did.
Belt to ass.
They did. Talk to them, Natural. Talk to them.
Look, there's a lot of avenues. If you're watching the show, we do the show on Tuesdays. Usually we do it on we would do it the day after every game was gone. But Monday, I was tired. Tuesdays is a nice day. Tuesdays is a nice calm day. We got time to absorb everything. There's two paths I want to take this. I'll take this on Philly side first. Well done. Offense, defense, special teams. Damn near a flawless game. The only bad part was a bad interception by Jalen Hurts in the first quarter. Other than that, perfection. Chef's kiss. Absolute cinema. Defense. The best way you can beat any quarterback is by pressuring his ass. And Patrick Mahomes was pressured 50% of the time. And they never blitzed. They sent for the entire time. And if you recap last week's show, I said Jalen Carter was going to be the biggest difference maker. And I apologize to all Philly fans because I was not familiar with your game. Shout out to Josh Sweat, 2.5 sacks. Shout out to Mitchell Williams. Shout out to 2 sacks. And a fumble recovery as well. Jalen Carter was the engine that was a cup spoon that stirs the drink, but every fucking snap, every single snap, Mahomes is running for his life or getting hit. You collapse the pocket. He's shaking hands. You collapse the pocket and make a great quarterback look like that. I'm sitting in the game, watching the game with my boys Corbett, Tyrese, and Andrew, and I'm like, damn. They're like, I'm looking at Corbin. It's like, we've never seen this, right? He's like, nah. I'm like, Andrew knows football, but not like he watches a little bit. He's like, you ever seen Mahomes like this? I was like, nah, never seen Mahomes like that. So my first shout out, my first rose, defensive line for Philly. The fact that you can make Mahomes have, and I've looked this up. I saw this on Twitter, and I wanted to show this, have this for the show.
Second lowest, right?
Huh?
The second lowest QBR ever.
Yeah, but the 3 worst QBR games in the postseason this season. Was Sam Darnold against the Rams. He had 13.6.
Dang.
Justin Herbert against Houston with 4 picks. Had a 12.8. Mahomes was the worst at 11.4.
Two picks, fumble.
2 picks, a pick six, a fumble, and again garbage time stats that make this. It was 34-0. It was 34-0. Put like past the sticks. Like that shit crazy. 37-6. Like past the sticks. Like it's shit crazy. So my first shout out, my first congratulations, defensive line specifically, but the whole defense. Shout out to Vic Fangio as well. He's been coaching in the NFL for like 35 years. He's always been known as a fantastic defensive coordinator, and this was the showcase of this guy is amazing. And Zach Bond underappreciated in New Orleans. C.J. Gardner-Johnson talking shit, but also underappreciated. Darius Slay, underappreciated, underrated corner, and then you got the 2 rookies, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Like that's just the back end, and then you got the front 4. We already mentioned them. Like so, it's like, bro, the Chiefs were holding, and this guy the second criticism now. We go with Rose, now I go Thorne. Offensive line for Philly. Not Philly. Sorry, apologize. Offensive line for Kansas City. If they were making Mahomes get hit, and if that wasn't happening, they were holding the whole time. They made the Eagles front 4 look like the Dome Patrol, the Purple Peter Reavers, the Steel Curtain, like the 2000 Ravens. Like it's shit's actually crazy how impressive the offensive line made the defense look for Philly.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't throw the ball. They couldn't do anything. And anytime you get a sliver of hope to try to do something, the only Chief that showed up, Xavier Worthy. The only Chief that showed up was Xavier Worthy. Nobody else. D-Hop, slight showing, but towards the end, it was over. But Xavier Worthy was the only Chief that showed up. The only one. And that's crazy. That was probably the most that was probably the most shocking event. Because I had a feeling that Philly could go up by 17 or 10 and the game would still be in range. But how they got up 17, eventually up to 34 unanswered points, just dead on arrival. Dead on arrival. And again, that's credit to coaching. And as much shit as I give, and this is my third flower, and I pass it to you for now, Nick Sirianni. As much as I don't like his antics, as much as he has a punchable face, as much as it's just as much as an asshole I think he is, when it comes to motivating men and having guys trying to play for him and want to play for him, hey, gotta give him credit.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta give him credit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Eagles fan base is fickle as fuck. Because Doug Peterson won them a chip, and then he was gone like 3 years later. He had no grace. So Nick Sirianni is one of those things like, okay, you got grace now. But Philly fans, they don't give a fuck. You stop producing with them, and then you out. So that, but I talked a little bit along tooth. There's a lot more I want to say, but you also picked Philly. So
oh man, it didn't go the way I thought it was gonna be. Honestly, like I did not think a blowout. I thought close game. Philly wins at the end, but something about Tom Brady, man, that cheese magic disappeared, and Tom Brady just the second time he's there. You know, they played the Bucks. You said you ain't never seen Mahomes like that. You seen it when they played Tampa.
Yeah, but even in that Tampa game, like you can just say, like Mahomes put everything on the line on that game. Like he had an interception.
He couldn't do it. He just couldn't do it on Sunday. But that's the only time I've seen him like that. And it was bad. But first flower, Jalen Hurts gets the biggest one.
Yeah, I was gonna mention it, but I'm glad you did.
Because even they knew the game plan was so simple that if you tell, I'm watching the game with my shorty, and she, first of all, when Mahomes getting hit, she's watching like, damn, like she's saying damn, and she patient as hell. She don't rarely curse. So she's like, ooh, damn, ooh, like she's reacting to the violence and the hits that Mahomes is taking. It's like that's crazy. But
this has been crunched a lot.
well, let me pivot back to Jalen Hurts. She was seeing him run, and she was like, "Is that easy?" I'm like, "Yeah, because the lane is so wide open." And that's the way to beat the Chiefs. He first drive was pretty good. Oh my gosh. As soon as they had the freaking bogus OPI call that they called, I was like, the fix is it. This how they gonna start the shit. Oh my gosh. But then they got the ball back. Then it was like, okay, Jahan Dodson with a dot. I thought he was a touchdown, but they said down at the one. You know what that means? The effective push, because he's not favoring a side and wasting time, and he's going straight ahead as he should. And he played well. Like, except that pick, he played damn near a perfect game. He made the right reads. He knew when to run, when not to run. He was throwing dots, the open guys, and that bomb to Devontae Smith for the dagger. Like, I genuinely shedded a tear because of a huge Devontae Smith fan that I am. Like, it was just a thing of beauty. Like, you seen it in slow motion. Like, he knew when to reach for it. Trent McDuffie got burnt. He got abused that game. Now he's still one of the best corners in the game, slot corners. But obviously, AJ Brown, he's bigger, faster, stronger. It's kind of hard to do that, you know. Kind of hard to be great against other greats. You know, someone's got to win. Now, the second thorn would be Spags. Like, you got 40 put on, 33 put on you. Like, your job was to keep it close, and as soon as you keep it close, that's when the Chiefs magic comes in. And but it was, you mentioned it, dead on arrival. You couldn't get nothing going on offense and nothing on defense, especially. You got a few stops here and there, you know, but when they needed to, they got what they wanted. Now I will applaud Saquon Barkley. He didn't have the stats that I thought he was gonna have. A lot of people had bets on him scoring a touchdown. So FanDuel, DraftKings, the casinos, they made a lot of money on Saquon Barkley not scoring or not playing well at all. Because I will attribute that to Spags. Like, oh, we're gonna just sell the run and have Jalen beat us. That was a challenge, and he answered. But then I'm like, the biggest thorn, Andy Reid. And people trying to open up old one for AFC Championship game last year, but we only ran it 6 times. Besides Mahomes running, how many times did the Chiefs attempt to run? You mentioned it in the first thing with the Eagles' defensive line. They didn't blitz a single time. They were rushing with 4. That's the easiest thing to do, to run the ball when they're not blitzing and they're only rushing 4. You open the gates and let the running back get 4 or 5 yards. 4 or 5 yards. The Chiefs, not the only recipe to win, but their main thing was long, sustained drives that ate up the clock. Now, would you score a touchdown or field goal? Hey, that's different. But that was their bread and butter the entire season. Long, sustained drives that ate up the clock. But instead, that Philly took your bag, flipped it and reversed it. And so we don't do that because they ate the clock crazy. Pause. Like, I gotta look at the stat. I looked at the stats this morning. I was like, nah, how long did they have the ball for?
They dominated time of possession.
They extremely dominated time of possession. Like, dude, like, listen to this. They had the ball for 36 minutes. They had 100. They had 70 total plays ran. with 21 first downs. Oh man, like rushing. Mahomes had 4 rushes. The Chiefs, Kareem Hunt, P. Ryan, Pacheco combined had 7. Jalen Hurts had 11 by himself. Saquon had 25. Kenneth get now, mind you, Saquon only did 2.3 yards a carry. He only had 57 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
Now I think he had cut a couple screens. He had 6 for 40. So he had 97 yards from scrimmage, which is a great game. Don't get me wrong, but every time you've seen it, he'll get 2 yards and stop. But they kept at it. You're down. I think Andy Reid got a little frazzled, which then trickled down to Mahomes getting frazzled. Well, I lied. Andy Reid, then the offensive line, then Mahomes.
Offensive line first. They were down on arrival.
Like, oh man. And the whole season, everyone was like, oh, but they find ways to win. I was saying their tackles are the weak link. I said they have one of the best guard center guard combinations in the game. But the tackles, you put a guard at tackle. Oh, surprise, surprise. This is our secret weapon. He got abused routinely. Everyone was literally lining up against Joe Tooney. Whoop, hitting Mahomes. Collapse in the pocket. Sidebar, Maya doesn't hate. She hates when Tom Brady was saying the pocket, the pocket, the pocket. She's like, what's the pocket? I'm like, it's like an invisible circle. Like, that's dumb. I was like, it's not dumb. You just like, it's kind of dumb, but it's not really dumb. So she hates the word the pocket. She hates the word. She like find a new phrase. I'm like, it's not me. It's just NFL. Like, I don't know. But besides that, it was just fun. But that's all I got, man. Eagles, man. Shout out to Eagles. And I was saying to my manager, who's a huge Eagles fan, I was like, you honestly have the recipe or the core to repeat. Because all your main players are paid. Devontae, Jalen, Saquon, AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Your defensive line's paid.
You lose a little bit of your defensive lineman, but other than that,
Jalen Carter's still on his rookie deal.
I'm saying like Josh Sweat, he's potentially leaving.
The core. You could find defensive linemen in the draft. Howie Roseman's the best GM finding gems. Cooper DeJean and Quentin Mitchell, that's your top 2 right there. Darius Slay might retire. He might. CJ might go. He's like, I want a ring. I might go on my next journey. We'll see. And then Zach Bond might resign because he's like, oh, I want here. Like, oh shit, I talked about it earlier. Like, I could go anywhere I want. Picking the Super Bowl champion, should have won the Defensive Player of the Year. So like the core players is there. And I love how it was cinema because Saquon Barkley carried you guys to the finish line, but Jalen Hurts did the final step. Ravens could take a lot of.
How about that?
Huh?
He pushed his way in. How about that?
He pushed his way in, and as a Baltimore fan, it gives me hope. One, to beat the Chiefs, like we have a recipe to beat the Chiefs, but they do now. They know, okay, we gotta work on this offensive line. Kelsey might retire, yada, yada, yada. But trusting the big boy, Derrick Henry, to carry us regular season. We done with MVPs. Tired of it. Now, if he wins one, great. He's the favorite to win it next year. Great. Cool. Get us to that moment. Lamar, take it over from there. Saquon did the same thing. Saquon, 2,000 yards, could have broke the record. And then Jalen Hurts, when it mattered the most, had the game. The second, I think his first time was perfect. He played a perfect game except for that fumble, which ended up causing him the Super Bowl. If he played better then in this game, like him 2 Super Bowls, this man he's elite. He's elite. Since the NFC Championship game, when he had like 5 touchdowns, and then this one. Back-to-back, great games, great performances, and they're young, they're hungry, they want more. Philly's dangerous, man.
Yeah. I'll be recording a video soon about like every team, like how they can get to Super Bowl 60. Wild at Super Bowl 60, like
60, right? Yeah.
crazy. But one of the things that I was gonna mention about Philly is that their offensive line is like they had the best offensive line in the entire league. I would top three because you got Baltimore, you got uh, Detroit, so whatever top offensive line in the league. You lose Jason Kelsey, a lot of people were like, "Oh, Tush Push is dead. Jason Kelsey made it." Shout out, I think his name is Landon Dickerson.
Landon Dickerson, yep.
Gets drafted, slot in, boom.
Oh, he's talking about Jurgens. I think.
Thank you, Cam Jurgens. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Slide him in, boom. Effective. Still doesn't fail. So it's one of those things. It's like that's coaching. We Saints got Kellen Moore now, so that's great. But it's a situation where like the Chiefs did, and we talked about it. It's like limit Saquon. Don't let Saquon run crazy. I think just the commitment to run the ball, even if it wasn't working.
Mm.
You ran the ball 25 times. 25 times. Yeah, for 50 yards, 53, whatever. But 25 carries is still 25 carries. They were committed. They're like, hey, you might stop it this time, but he has the ability to go break one. So we're going to hand to him. And what didn't work, all right, freak it. A.J. Brown down there somewhere, mossing guys. Devontae Smith is one. He's also the first player ever to win a Heisman. He's the first player to win a Heisman, a national title, and a Super Bowl. No, he's not the first. He's like the fourth ever.
First
He's the
guy,
fourth
I like that.
Alabama player to get a score touchdown in a Super Bowl.
From Alabama, yeah.
So that's wild. Hey man. One last thing I'll say, because if you're watching us now and haven't listened to any pundits, a lot of people are saying that the GOAT debate is dead for Mahomes. I say table it. It's not dead. It's on health support. But Tom Brady won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years.
Yep.
He didn't get back to a Super Bowl 4 years until 4 years later. He didn't win a Super Bowl 10 years later.
Yep.
So don't show it. Yes, Mahomes is 3-2 in the Super Bowl by age 29.
Crazy.
Like Mahomes he's as close to the GOAT debate as he possibly can. He can't elevate it. He can't do anything more until start winning some more Super Bowls. But for the moment in time, Mahomes is still Mahomes. Mahomes is still like Nick Wright released his Mahomes Mountain. He's still the best quarterback in the league.
Mm.
He's still number one in a lot of people's eyes.
Yep.
And I think that next year we might see a different Mahomes. Next year, because all season they won by fourth quarter comebacks, blocking punts, blocking kicks rather, field goal blocks, and then also just having great defense. They won, but nothing extraordinary happened on offense. They did what they had to do. Nick Wright said they were practicing the whole time. Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, they are monsters as receivers. And I think they're going to actually say, hey, Mahomes, you trying to win MVP again? You trying to remind the people that, yeah, they wrote me off, but I'm not running back? I think that Mahomes might have that MVP season again. I think they might open up the playbook even more. Because what they were saying, and it's kind of weird. It's like when you're winning, no one can tell you anything.
Mm-hmm.
But this is 2 years in a row where he wasn't first team All-Pro or second team All-Pro. Like, it's 2 years in a row that happened. It's a couple of years where, yes, he's regarded as the best, but he has no personal hardware to show for it. All of his accomplishments were team accomplishments. Yeah, Super Bowl MVP is an individual award, but MVP, first team All-Pro, those kind of things are like individual. So I think he might have a season to like, you must have forgot that I'm trying to win a Super Bowl, but y'all must have forgot that I'm him, and I'm going to show y'all that I'm him. So I'm very, very interested in what Kansas City decides to do. But they gotta fix the offensive line situation.
They
They
do.
got to.
Sorry, I'm just contagious. I know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they got to because if you have Jawan Taylor still starting on the right tackle, who was the most penalized tackle the entire season, getting penalized 3 times. Yep, false starts and holding. No false starts for Coleman on the game winner. And that's the last thing too. Refs, they were like, "Oh, the refs go to Chiefs." They really didn't cheat for anybody. It was a relatively clean officiated game. I'd say the only bullshit was there was two, both in the first quarter. The phantom unnecessary roughness penalty on the Trey McDuffie against Dallas Goddard, and then the face mask on offensive pass interference. The other ones that were bullshit was the long snapper, like the full starts on the long snapper. But Jake Ellie made his kicks anyway, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So great win by Philly. Congratulations. Go try to do it again.
I'll try to do it again, man. It was a funny clip that I seen. It was Kelsey trying to mess with Jalen Carter, who would literally smoke him in a fight, and then he was trying to mess with Big Baby Davis, Jordan Davis. And I'm like, boy, you not see how big this dude is? Like, you better. And that's the thing about Kelsey, where like he used to be the hero. He used to be the guy, doing the dances and all that other stuff, catching Kelsey. Cool. Then I don't know what happened. Probably dating Taylor. He started really being an antagonizer. Like really, like messing with Justin Tucker when he was last AFC Championship game, trying to just practice kicks, throwing shit to the side, like kind of dumb shit. Then against the Bills, going up to somebody after they scored a touchdown and laughing in their face like ha ha and not getting flagged for it. Like, I love the multiple things. And first thing, when they showed Taylor, they booed her immediately, and they ain't show her. They ain't show her since, because God, well, there's nothing to show because the Chiefs are getting spanked. So, which was great. And then Nick Wright getting his comeuppance on FS1 yesterday. Oh man, I had to time everything at work perfectly. I was like, I had to watch 3:00. Had to see it because it was cinema. It was, we say cinema a lot, but it was honestly one of the best. Like, openings for a show, I would say that, and then Cat Williams, Every Day I'm Hustling. Like when he did the Every Day I'm Hustling, and he was doing different things. That's like the best opening to something I've ever seen before. But dude,
20 minutes of
straight jokes.
Every prop that he's used, all the break dancers, the trumpeters, the banners, the confetti,
it was everything.
Greg Jennings coming out to Rocky and like that was it was funny. It was hilarious.
It was hilarious, man. But now we can transition to basketball until the draft. Cool. Luka, LeBron, that's cool. But yeah, hey man, as I mentioned, it's probably be the last episode or last show for a while. Planning a wedding. Your boy is engaged. I'm planning a wedding. So maybe not this next season. We'll try to push for next season to do the show. But if not, you'll see us eventually. We're not giving up on this. We love doing this. I love doing this. Get a couple hours a week to talk to my twin, so it's great. It's great. Love it. Great season. It flew by way too fast. It's February, like damn. But now we got nothing to look forward to. Really look forward to until the draft.
Whoa, March Madness, bro.
March Madness. I'm a basketball fan. So like I got basketball, then March Madness, then playoffs. So till June, I'm content. And then I'm not a baseball fan at all. So from June to about August, I'm in purgatory. So I'll probably be working out and playing COD and maybe NCAA. If that comes out, I might cop it. We'll see. But we'll see, man. But it's been fun. I'm Shabazz. That's 90 Baps. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Live your life in a 4 F's in a V. which is faith, family, food, football, and
vindication.
And it's not goodbye. It's a see you later. Natural said he's doing videos on what every team needs to move forward into 2025 to maybe host the Lombardi. Look forward for that. It's not goodbye. Definitely not goodbye. It's more of a see you later. Again, deuces.